Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the Toon Review, where this afternoon it is the first watch-along of the restart of the season, where we take on Rayo Vallecano from Spain in a friendly and a very, very strong team. It has to be said, a bit of a surprise that certain players are in the lineup, but of course the season kicks off very, very soon. And this is why we have gone with what we have. We've gone with Nick Pope, Kieran Trippier, Jamal Lascelles, Sven Botman, Matt Targett, John Joe Shelby, Sean Longstaff, Joe Willock, Jacob Murphy, Alain Saint-Maximin, and Chris Wood. So Chris Wood's obviously recovered from his injury in Saudi Arabia, of course. Now on the subs bench, we've got Gillespie, Brookwell, Carlian, Scott, Stevenson, Crossley, and Dewey, Turner, Cook, Murphy, and Miley. So very, very youthful bench, it's fair to say, but the starting lineup is certainly a strong one. No Joe Linton today. You know, there's certain players not in the lineup. Of course, Fabian Schär's not there. But you know what it is? There's still no Isak. He's not even on the bench. So he's still obviously nowhere near ready to go for Newcastle today. But it's going to be an interesting game. It really is. You know, Vallecano, I haven't got their team lineup, sadly, but we'll see. We'll see in due course. Of course, Florian Lejeune will probably be playing in the game as well. See how he does after, of course, he left Newcastle United because he was just completely bruised, wasn't he? There is no doubt about that. He was bruised and... But look, he's gone to Spain. He hasn't looked back. He's played really well and is doing very well at Vallecano. Right, some comments. Is Isak back from injury? No, sadly not. He's still on the sidelines. Broski says, F and Hell's strongest team we can put out. Trips and Pope even playing. Yeah, I think that's probably the biggest surprise for me is that Trippier and Pope are playing. But no, Isak is due back against Leicester, of course. I have no idea what that says. Cheers, Ray, just with a reminder to everybody about the watch-alongs. All keep comments keep them respectful, I should say. No ask for links, no nothing like that. No spoilers, especially, please. Wait till I've commented on it in the commentary, as usual, before you make a comment in the chat. Anyone that does put any spoilers out will be removed. And, of course, we don't want to do that, guys. So let's just have a good watch-along again today. Tom, good afternoon from St. James's Park. Sunny and comparatively mild compared to what we've had in the last few days. Lovely to be back at St. James's Park. Enjoy the watch-along, everyone. Will you have a good day out, Tom? Trolls, good evening to you. Good afternoon to you. Nathan, good afternoon. Tony, welcome. James says, hi, all looking forward to seeing us back at the Toon headquarters. Indeed, kick off around 7 minutes away. Tony says it's a bit nippy in Denmark. I can very much... understand that because Alex was in Norway recently, of course, and Baltic conditions. Of course, Truls minus 15. Wow. But he does have a Brunel for the match, and that's all that counts, really. Julie J, good afternoon to you. James, good afternoon. Tampa Toon, welcome. Kendo, hello. Julie's in the house. Oi, lads and lasses, good afternoon to you all. TTR, let's go. Just a reminder, guys, if you do enjoy the watch along today as well, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, why not become a subscriber? Hit the button. It's free to do so. And also that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload videos. Lots and lots to come on this channel. We are up and running again, and we need to bring you the very, very best coverage. So don't forget to subscribe. And of course, you can become a member if you like. If you hit that join button just underneath the video down below there. And you can donate to the channel as usual. If you'd like to, you just hit the $sign at the bottom of the live comments, and that will take you through to a payment method. So thank you very much to everyone in advance for that as well. Well, getting close to kick-off. Tony says, it's a lot down to the dampness from my experience. Talking about the weather, of course, it is freezing. Geordie Boy says, what's going on? No TTR, not much on NUFC TV. Yes, it is. I'm not understanding what you're saying there, matey. Mike says, so excited to see the team back at St. James's Park, up the Toon. Kieran, it's on NUFC TV, mate. It's on the website. So, but you do have to be logged in order to watch the game. So if you haven't got an account, apparently you have to have one, but I don't know. But it is on the website. Keith is back in the room. Yeah, back in the room, indeed. Rachel, good afternoon to you. Samsonite says, just be glad you didn't make the same trip as my girlfriend. She's been home in Buenos Aires for 3 weeks and came back. Difference to a literal 50 degrees centigrade. Wow, that's hot. Adam, good afternoon to you. David says, hi, Paul. Hope you're well. Now let's have it. Yep. Look, I think we'll be going for it today. I don't see any reason why we shouldn't. We need to win the game just to keep that confidence going. Rayo Vallecano will possess a test. They're having a decent season in La Liga at the moment, so they will provide a test for us. But we have to be aware of that. We have to be ready for that, and we have to come out fighting. It's a very, very strong first 11. I think the kids will get an opportunity in the second half, which is going to be nice. It'll be nice to see the kids playing. So hopefully we'll see some goals as well, which is the whole point of it. We want to keep slamming those goals in the back of the net. Kieran says, oh, why is Chris Wood playing? He's shite. Get Isak on. He's not fit, mate. You can't put Isak on if he's not fit. He did train on Friday, I believe, but he's not going to be fit just yet, guys. It's as simple as that. As much as it's really annoying, we aren't going to see him just yet. But you never know. Chris Wood might bag a couple of goals today. You just do not know. KB, good afternoon in Belfast to you. Hope you're well, my friend. No Miggy and Joe Linton. Well, look, it is a friendly at the end of the day. Miggy and Joe Linton played in Saudi, so they have had a match behind them. So yeah, they're going to be fit. Let's be honest. It's just a black screen on NUFC TV. Is everyone the same? Soon tell you. Yeah, I'm getting the same. It obviously hasn't started yet, so we will see what happens in due course with that. Elliot Anderson not in the squad. No. Black screen yet at the minute. Apparently there was a behind closed doors match yesterday where most of the squad players, hence why about 16 or something missing today, says Jules. Getting black screen here too. Probably start when the match starts, indeed. Let's not panic just yet, guys. Let's not panic just yet. Tampa Toon says, good morning, Paul. I am in Sacriston this morning. Wink. Really? Well, it must be Sacriston, Florida, or somewhere nice and hot. Anyone stream working yet? No, it's not. We do have black screens. Let's not panic yet. Jim, good day. All catch a bit with the Toon Review fam on my lunch break. Paolo, good afternoon. Hope you're well. Love that jacket, Paul, by the way. Thank you. Somebody left it at my house, would you believe? Rich, good afternoon over at the Arsenal podcast. If you haven't seen Richard's channel, please go and have a look at it. Yes, he's mainly an Arsenal fan channel, but to be honest, he puts some great football content out there. So go and give him a subscribe. He's a really, really talented host, and he's a good guy as well. Mike, good afternoon. The World Cup has been great, but really missed our lads and all things NUFC. How are the lads? Indeed. Let's see if we're ready to kick off yet. It's doing the spinning wheel. Yeah, I've got a screen up now. There you go. Everything is ready at my end. Wonderful. Wunderbar. Indeed. Let's get a few more comments before the kickoff. There's nobody out on the pitch yet. Nothing at all. Just the substitutes still kicking the ball around, ready to go. But it looks like a full house again at St James's Park. Of course, these games are very good for the fans, because obviously they get to see, they can bring the family that they wouldn't necessarily normally be able to for Premier League games, as I'm doing against Bournemouth on Tuesday night. Taking the kids again, being high up in the gods on level 7. But hey, it's an experience that I'm really looking forward to in a way. I don't like heights, but what the hell. There you go. Poor SM. No one crossed the ball to them with Wood on. In the words of a famous song, have a little patience, peeps. Yep, it's all running now. Yeah, Lawrence is streaming as well, waiting for it to start. It has started now. I mean, these comments were a while ago. Stato's in the house. And he says, no, Miggy is a strange one. Well, possibly, but as Julie said, they did play behind closed doors game yesterday, so they may have had a few playing in that one as well, as the players have come onto the pitch for the start of the game, and they're just doing the handshakes at the moment. Keith is reporting here from Singapore, awaiting eagerly for the match and the appearance of Lejeune. Well, I'm just looking through the Vallecano players, and I don't see Florian Lejeune. So it does not look like he is starting for Vallecano this afternoon. Interesting. Very interesting. Everybody just saying the match is live now. Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Mark says, just logged on. Anyone know team news? Love your stuff, by the way. Just been released from prison. Missed you guys. Get yourself subscribed, Mark. Yes, kickoff time is 12:30. J-Lo Brusky says, going to watch the game now, guys, back at half-time. Well, watch it with us. Watch it with us. And get some different commentary. My screen's just gone black now, which is great, right before the kickoff. There it goes again. That's all right. I just hope it's not going to be one of them dodgy connections today. Lawrence says he had plans to watch non-league today, but the weather stopped that, so thought about going, but decided not to. Hopefully I can get the women's game at Kingston Park tomorrow. Yes, the ladies are in action tomorrow. Lejeune and Falcao are on the bench, where Falcao is mainly on the bench. There you go. Lejeune is also on the bench. Ex-Watford player Mario Suarez as well. Ian, good afternoon to you. Hope you're well. As they're just doing the handshakes now ahead of kickoff. Listen, this is going to be a very interesting game. And, you know, whether we go full hog in this game, I do not know. I'm not so sure what will happen, to be honest. I think we'll probably have a very strong performance in the first half, but then we will probably change it a little bit second half with the youngsters to come on. But the thing is, you know, with this game, you know, the youngsters will want to come on and do really well, let's be honest, because they will want to show Eddie Howe what they can do. And, you know, they'll want to show him that they can play good football against a very good side, who I think about 8th in the Liga at the minute. So they are a decent side, a very decent side. But Newcastle are going to kick us off for the game. And then we will get underway. Just waiting for the referee. And away we go. We are underway at St. James's Park. So, how will we perform? There's certain players on that pitch today as well, guys, that will want to perform really well because, you know, they want to be put in that first team as soon as possible. They'll want to be part of the ride. Shelby Cleese at long for Newcastle early doors. Maxi chested down well. Chris Wood, that's a horrible pass straight away from him. And it's kicked out of play by Sean Longstaff. So Newcastle, a little bit rusty. It has to be said in these opening moments of the game. Chris Wood and Longstaff not showing the greatest of touches there, but it is what it is, guys. It is what it is. Vallecano take a throw in, and it goes all the way back to the centre backs. Thanks, Paul, and all the TTR family. I'm really struggling at the moment. Your channel does help me give some mental relief. I hope to see good performance there. Rich Baxter, you stay strong, my friend, and you can always reach out to any of us if you need to. We don't want to see anybody that's, you know, a supporter of this channel, you know, struggling anywhere. Sammy Faiz, thank you very much for your $7.99 super chat. He says, hi, miss you guys. Where can I see the game? It's on the Newcastle website, mate. If Wilson isn't available for Bournemouth, Stevenson should be in the squad for that game. I think Wilson will be there. Don't worry about that. Obviously, Wilson did get quite a bit of action in the World Cup, didn't he, with a few substitute appearances. Nick Pope didn't. Kieran Trippier, 2 games he played. So they're probably ahead to start this game rather than Callum Wilson. But I'm sure Wilson will be available against Bournemouth. That's a terrible back pass. And Vallecano in with a chance and a wonderful save from Nick Pope. I don't know what the hell Newcastle were doing there, but it was all over the place. Terrible, terrible play from Newcastle. And Botman wasn't sure whether to put a tackle in because obviously the risk of a penalty. And it was hit on the volley. And Nick Pope absolutely brilliantly tips it over the bar. A very good shot stopper, of course, Nick Pope. And, well, he had to be there. Wonderful save. But here comes the Vallecano corner. It's swung in right onto the penalties, just over the penalty spot, and headed away by Longstaff. Vallecano keep the pressure on. Cross comes in again, but Nick Pope is underneath that, but he's missed it. And a chance for Vallecano, and Lascelles heads it just over the Vallecano striker, and it's out for another corner. There is some miscommunication going on at the back here for Newcastle United. Nick Pope came to punch that away. Botman was under it, but Botman clearly not hearing what Nick Pope said there, and they made a right hash of that. But it's good early pressure from the Spanish La Liga outfit. We're going to take this corner again. Near post this time. Flicked on. That should be Nick Pope's, and it is indeed. So we survived that little scare there, but they need to wake up rather quickly. The ball now with Matt Targett as he brings it out from the back. He's got a run from Joe Willock. Doesn't use him. Maxi's making a good run, which is spotted by Targett, but he rolls it into... That's a good ball. That's a really good ball. Kieran Trippier now bursting forward from the right, crossed in towards Chris Wood. But again, Chris Wood not making a run towards the ball. Longstaff! It's in! And Newcastle United have taken the lead in what is in the, first 5 minutes of the game. A brilliant hit from Longstaff, and it flies into the top of the net. And Newcastle United lead Rayo Vallecano 1-0 after, it has to be said, a very, very dodgy start. But there you go. The boys have scored straight away, and that is fantastic. It really is. The ball was played in. Chris Wood didn't really, make any attempt to go for the ball again, running towards it, as he doesn't. It was a terrible header from the Vallecano defender. It landed for Sean Longstaff, and he hammered it into the roof of the net. Unfortunately, don't get replays on this, but it was a good goal. So well done to Sean Longstaff. Billy, good afternoon, buddy. He says, great strike. Indeed, it was. What a switch by Joe Willock. It was indeed, yeah. He could have gone down the line, of course, for Maxi, but he didn't. He went across the field for Kieran Trippier, and it all stemmed from that. Botman has the ball at the moment, rolls it into Shelvey in that sort of quarterback position, which we know John Joe likes to play. Played out from Lascelles to Trippier now on the right-hand side. Nifty little touch-up. That's a good flick by Longstaff. Murphy didn't really see it coming. Chris Wood charges the goalkeeper down, who has to clear it away quickly. Lascelles, nice chest down to Botman. Very calm play that by Lascelles. Lovely flick from Willock. Shelvey plays the ball through to Maxi. He's in on the goal. He's clean through. He rolls it into Chris Wood. And is it offside? Yes. It must have been just mine. That must have been close. Must have been close. But wonderful play from Newcastle United there. Ripped apart Vallecano. Really ripped them apart. And it could have easily been 2-0 there. Very unselfish play by Maxi, rolling it into Chris Wood, who scored. But the flag then went up, which is a bit of a shame because it was, again, a very, very good move from Newcastle. And again, one-touch football. Lovely play by Chris Wood, flicking it out to Shelvey on the right now. Shelvey plays it down to, this looks like Jacob Murphy now cutting into the box. Murphy plays a low ball in, and it's cleared behind for a corner. But Newcastle United have sprung into life here, guys, without a shadow of a doubt. After a very dodgy first couple of minutes in which Vallecano, to be fair, could have scored if it wasn't for a wonderful save by Nick Pope. And then Newcastle spring forwards and have really looked like getting the second goal here. Just a little under-hit that by Longstaff, but it comes out to Trippier. He swings across in. It's going to bounce. Vallecano seem half asleep here. St. Maximin's got the ball. Again, pulls it inside to John Joe Shelvey. Shelvey goes back to Maxi, but it's well intercepted this time. And Vallecano looks to quickly break, and that's going to be a free kick to Vallecano. Pull of the shirt by John Joe Shelvey. We get a little bit of respite after a couple of minutes of really, really strong attacking football from Newcastle United, which was great to see. Jack says, I hope Shah doesn't have any hangovers from the Portugal game. He won't. He'll be over it now. He'll be there. Paul says, just what Longstaff needed, a big boost going into the next round of fixtures. Absolutely. He's really hanging on to his place, this Sean Longstaff, and he's earning it, really. You can't see otherwise. Chris, I don't know what you're talking about because I'm watching on NUFC TV. If you go on the website and then you click on the menu at the top saying NUFC TV, you get the game. For God's sake, man. They're not a bunch of lying bastards. It's on. And Jacob Murphy comes away with it again, but well intercepted. Billy says, is it me or Sean put some meat on? Looks a man mountain. I noticed that, Billy, I have to say. He does look a very... I think he's been hitting the weights without a shadow of a doubt. But listen, it's a positive for us, isn't it? So he's nice and strong. Sending love to Almod Gary, who's been in the wars and done a proper job of hurting himself in a fall. Yes, he has. Gary, get well soon, brother. We know you've had a bit of a rough time with your fall, so hopefully you'll recover quickly from that and be back with us. Anyway, Longstaff brings it out. Nice little ball into Chris Wood. It's a terrible pass. Which was aimed for Maxi. He didn't look too pleased with that, actually. Joe Willock, it was a poor pass. Anyway, Trippier brings it down now into Longstaff, flicks it into Shelvey, back to Longstaff. Longstaff is brought down, but the referee says play on. Longstaff has stayed down, incidentally. He caught a boot there, and it's Vallecano play on because Longstaff has got back to his feet. He's limping a little bit, but looks okay. Willock has the ball for Newcastle now. Goes across to Murphy. Trippier's making a good run down the right. Murphy flicks it over to him. Murphy then goes down the right. Trippier cuts in. Back to Sean Longstaff now. Longstaff, head up. Just turns back over. He's got Shelvey in support, but he still holds onto the ball, but then kicks it out of play. He saw the run of Jacob Murphy, to be fair, and he just kind of miscued the pass. But confident play that by Sean, hanging onto the ball a lot and, looking for that killer pass. Very good through pass twice from Max. He looks sharp. Yeah, he looks up for it as well, which is good. Wood's been really poor with practically every pass, says Samsonite. He has. But he did lay a good one off to Shelvey on the right-hand side a couple of minutes ago, which was a really good pass. Good interception by Maxi, and then he's brought down. I mean, my God, that's got to be a yellow card. I know it's only a friendly, but, well, he's not even booking him. I'm really surprised at that. He literally grappled a hold of Maxi and threw him to the floor. But here, it is a friendly at the end of the day. Here's Maxi again looking to do some wonderful stuff on the ball. He's pushed off and a free kick to Newcastle. And Maxi's doing his thing again about waving his hand in the air. Just get up, man. It's a bloody friendly, for God's sake. I don't like Maxi doing that. I really don't. There's nothing wrong with him. There is nothing wrong with him. And he was lying on the ground going like this again, as if he's in agony. He's up and he's walking away. It's a bloody friendly, Maxi, man. Get your act together. I hate seeing that shit, man. He's got wonderful talent, Maxi. He really has. Wonderful talent. But I really get annoyed when I see him and other players rolling around like that. He's on the ball now. There's nothing wrong with him. He's doing his little jinking runs. That's nice from Maxi down the left-hand side. Can he get a good cross in? And it's flicked on by Chris Wood, but only into the arms of the goalkeeper. Never mind. Rayo Vallecano staying, coming ball with the ball now. And Toon Review Stato says, for the 5 minutes from Maxi is exactly why he should stay. Of course, we know that Alex is rather a fan of Maxi. But we saw both sides of Maxi there, rolling around like he's been shot, waving his hands in the air. Just get up and play. And when he does, he provides brilliance down the left-hand side. He's certainly an enigma. Here's Murphy for Newcastle United. Great ball into Longstaff again, and he could have had a second. But a very good save by the goalkeeper, and it's out for a corner. Sean Longstaff is making some fantastic runs in that box. He really is. He's getting rid of the defenders. He's finding a lot of space, and very, very similar to his first goal there. Could have scored, but the goalkeeper charged out and flicked one over the bar. And Trippier is going to take this corner to Newcastle. Certainly Newcastle looking by far the better side in this opening 12 minutes, without a shadow of a doubt. Corner in from Trippier. Up go the heads. It's flicked away. Now, Vallecano will not want to have a heavy defeat here today. There's no way. I mean, they're obviously Newcastle United, third in the Premier League, having a wonderful season. But Vallecano will not want a heavy defeat today. It'll do their confidence no good ahead of the restart in their league as well. But they're coming down the left-hand side here. Kieran Trippier's gone walkabout. That's a good ball over the top of Murphy. But what a brilliant bit of play from Nick Pope. He's out like Usain Bolt there to clear the ball. That's something Nick Pope is really good at, reading the play, reading them balls over the top and getting out there and clearing the ball. It really does help the back four when they know they've got a goalkeeper who is willing to come out as a sweeper and clearing the ball away. Brilliant stuff again from Nick Pope. Doing it, Paul. Keep it up. Awesome show, says Chris Bell. Thank you very much, Chris. Longstaff brings it forward now into Murphy. Murphy steps through, rolls it to Trippier on the right, then goes on a marauding run, but is cut back into Sean Longstaff. Slightly pushed there, but he keeps his balance. Good play by Maxi again. Gets it out to Willock on the left-hand side. Target makes the overlap. Willock cuts back on his right foot inside to Maxi. Maxi's got 4 around him, but lays it off to Willock. Now to John Joe Shelvey. Shelvey plays it out to the right-hand side where Trippier's waiting. Trippier's got Murphy and Longstaff making runs, but he goes into Shelvey. Shelvey then plays it out to the right to Murphy. Murphy tried to go for a first-time cross there, but has to pull it back. Now it's into Shelvey. Shelvey decides to hit the ball on his outside of his right foot. But the problem we've got there is when John Joe has the ball there around 20 yards out, Chris Wood is standing still. He's making no run. He's not making a run to the near post. He's not making a run to the far post. And, that must frustrate Shelvey because he's got nowhere to put the ball. Really, really frustrating that. And that's what I mean. The running of Chris Wood is so poor. He's very, very static in the 18-yard box. And that was the problem there. Shelvey was looking up, waiting for Chris Wood to make his move. And he doesn't. He stands still. Oh, Trippier, that's a loose pass, but he wins the ball back. And then finally gets the ball into Longstaff, who lays it back to Kieran Trippier. Trippier then goes down the right-hand side. It's a good run from Maxi now. He's cut onto the right-hand side. Maxi's certainly been involved a lot in this game. Lovely little instep there, and then throws himself to the floor dramatically after being tackled, and nothing comes of it. It was a good tackle that. Maxi showed a bit too much of the ball to him. But again, emphatically going down, which was... It's just Maxi, isn't it? It's just the way he plays the game. He's an enigma. He really is. I mean, he's a joy to watch with his talents, but my God, sometimes you just have to laugh. Stato says, Willock and Maxi both having flexible roles is working really nicely. They're finding each other, and it looks dangerous. Billy traces that little flick around the corner by ASM where it was world-class. It certainly was. Maxi's on the ball again, but he gives it away. Tried to float that one in to Chris Wood, who was, again, he's just like, stands. I mean, look at him now. He should be bursting to make a run down the channels, but that's a beautiful ball floated over from Willock. He found Jacob Murphy right down by the corner flag, and the Vallecano defender did well and wins a throw-in for his team. Don't forget, guys, if you're enjoying today's stream, please do hit the like button. Lots more of the Newcastle United commentaries coming up, of course, as the season kicks off. And please do hit the subscribe button. Free to do so, and the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. You can, of course, donate to the channel as well if you wish, like so many have already done so today. Thank you very much for that by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments, which will take you through. James says Chris Wood is the weakest link in the team. Watch him get a hat-trick now. I said that. Yeah, me and Billy were on a roll in the World Cup where we just seemed to criticise everybody in the squad. Unfortunately, it didn't work for the England game. But never mind. But Chris Wood's going to have to do a very good job if he's going to get a hat-trick in this game. His movement just has to be better. Good work from Lascelles, playing up the line now to Kieran Trippier. Trippier's been forced right back into the corner, and he's lost the ball. Good little bit of skill, but well won back by Trippier. He wasn't having any of that. He's right, you want to try and fancy dangle around me. You're not doing it, sunshine. And won the throw-in for Newcastle United. Who scored, says Chris? It was Sean Longstaff. That was a Shelvey Bruno ball from Willock there. Indeed, it was. Jill says, watching YouTube on laptop so I can cast the game of my phone. Not used to Paul's face being so large. Cheers, Jules. But happy you're watching it anyway. As Vallecano now knocking it around a little bit in the Newcastle half, trying to find a way through. But again, we know how resolute this Newcastle United's defense is. It is so resolute. Very difficult to break down. Good covering there from Lascelles. Bit of interplay between, oh, God almighty, that was a tackle from behind on Willock, but he won the ball and didn't hit Willock, luckily enough. That could have been a very, very dangerous tackle, in all honesty, but we got away with it, guys. And Willock managed to stay on his feet. Nice bit of skill there, but Willock just swipes the ball away from him. Chris Wood now. Wood, he lost the ball there, and it managed to roll down, and the referee having a word. These Vallecano players are putting in some challenges. Longstaff's down at the moment. Darren says, really impressed so far with Willock and Longstaff. Willock's passing has been superb and can't believe how sharp Longstaff looks. Only a friendly, but he looks a different player to a couple of months ago. Yep. Yes, it is only a friendly, but it's a very, very important friendly given the time it is in the game with the build-up to the Premier League kicking off again. So, it is an important game. And, of course, these guys will be out to get match fitness because they need it back because the proper games start again on Tuesday. So they need to be ready for it. Some nasty tackles to Stato, indeed. By the way, guys, me and Stato will be back tonight at 7 p.m. with another transfer show. Some more names linked with the club, and of course, we will be reviewing this game as well. So do join us at 7 p.m. tonight for that one. It's not advertised yet, but it will be later on today. It's definitely happening. 7 o'clock tonight with me and Stato for another transfer show. Julie says, Vallecano, I needn't to remember it's a friendly. Yeah, but to be honest, Al Hilal didn't hold back on the tackles either. And I know this is only a friendly, guys, but Vallecano will think, right, these guys are third in the Premier League. We are going to do our very best to have a go at them. Because let's face it, if Vallecano win against a third-place team in the Premier League, even though it's just a friendly, it gives them massive confidence going into the restart of their La Liga season. So it is a very important friendly, even though it is just a friendly. Willock now on the left-hand side for Newcastle, beautifully cuts inside. I thought that might have been a free kick there, but he did really well, Willock. But Chris Wood trying to close down now, and Vallecano break over the line. It's out on the left-hand side now. Played into the box, but there's nobody there. And Matt Target just sweeps things up for Newcastle, rolls it into Botman. Botman's got to be careful here. Plays a nothing ball, really, straight to a Vallecano player. Now they come down the right-hand side. It's going to be it's a left foot shot, actually, but it's harmlessly wide. But we'll have a go there, definitely. Mixes wide play, Chris Wood. He's an empty head. Yeah, you do feel like Newcastle United are very restricted when Chris Wood plays. There's no doubt about that. We've said that time after time again. He doesn't really do anything. He doesn't make any runs. He's very static. But that's just my feelings on Chris Wood. But you know what? One thing you can never say about Chris Wood is his work rate. He works his ass off. But he's not up to the standard of many, many of the players around him. That is quite clear. But his work rate's there. Steven says, good intensity and tempo this game. Good for fitness levels. Absolutely. Yeah. Balls with Matt Target now. Rolls it down the line to Maxi. Maxi taken out, but he's lost the ball. Again, it was a tackle. A very strong tackle from behind. That's the second time it's happened on a Newcastle United player, to be honest. But they've won the ball. They haven't taken the man. They've won the ball. So, but tackles like that can very, very easily injure the players. And Vallecano have already shown in this opening 20 minutes that they are willing to put the foot in. There's no doubt about that. But Newcastle still lead 1-0 after Sean Longstaff's goal very, very early in the game. Offside flags up. Nick Pope came pelting out his area again. But the referee said that's offside, sunshine. Our identity is intensity. How wouldn't let them give anything less, says Paul. Agreed. Definitely. We are probably playing Wood to keep his value up and give Wilson a rest before the cup game. In fairness, Wood has given us some goals, although not many. That is what we got him for. 25 million quid, mate. I think I'd expect a few more goals than what he has got. But you know what? The signing happened. It's over. It's done with. We can't do anything about it now. Anyway, Trippier has the ball on the right-hand side. Plays a lovely ball into Chris Wood. Touches it off. Trippier again now. Rolls it back to Longstaff. Longstaff again. He's got Shelby in support. Arturo, thank you very much for your €20 super chat, my friend. Cannot create an account to watch the game because it says there is a delay. I don't know what's going on with that, matey. But thank you very much again for another fantastic donation. Good interception by Willock. Now, Maxi, we've got a 3-on-2 here. Maxi pelting forward. He's got Willock on the left. He's got Wood on the right. He chooses Willock, and he's lost the ball. Actually, to be fair, Chris Wood made a good run there down the right-hand side, but I guess Maxi just didn't have any faith in him. Who would you want a better finisher, Willock or Wood? But Wood's done very well there to intercept the ball. The clearance by Vallecano, pulls it back down, gives it to Lascelles. Lascelles just rolls it across to Botman. Botman across now to Matt Target. Matt Target, not going to be rushed, just plays a lovely ball back to Botman, swings it back across to Jamal Lascelles. Lascelles takes his time, rolls it back to Botman. I've been very impressed with this first half by Newcastle, actually. Most of the passing has been fantastic. The movement's been brilliant. It's really, again, a joy to watch. It really is. Unfortunately, we're offside there. Jacob Murphy just let go a bit too soon. Kendo says, I've not seen runs like that since last Christmas's half-cooked turkey. Lawrence says, Wood wouldn't have to cut it there. Willock did, and that's playing into their hands. Yeah, I think had Maxi just rolled the ball to him there, it would have been a pretty much a first-time shot for Chris Wood. But unfortunately, it didn't happen. Good interception there by Lascelles. Again, although it's just a friendly, we're pressing them, we're making them play the ball very quickly. We're playing our usual game. And we have to, because we have to get back up to speed very quickly, don't we? We have to get back into that pressing mold because, the games are going to come thick and fast in the next few weeks. Good interception by Botman there, staying on his man. But, Maxi again stays on his feet this time. Lovely turn. Looked like he was held back a little bit there. A bit frustrated, Maxi, but play goes on with Longstaff, and he goes all the way back to his His Holiness Nick Pope, and he just rolls it out again to Botman and back to Nick Pope, and we start again. Paul says Botman is so quality on the ball, man. Is switching play with them. Chris Pauls gives us another option if we can't play out. Absolutely. And to have sort of Shelvey there as well, we've got two players who can ping the ball. But we're playing it out from the back with a lot of confidence as well at the minute. Chris Wood now goes out to the right. It's an awful ball. I don't know where he's playing that. Straight to a Vallecano player. Lascelles steps up and does well, but his touch is a little bit heavy for John Joe. I'm not sure what on earth Chris Wood was doing there, but there's a Newcastle player down. Chris Wood put his big plank foot in there and just took somebody out and took the Newcastle player with him, who I believe is Longstaff. He's had a few nasty knocks in this first half, Sean Longstaff, but he's battling on. He's battling on. Paul says Chris Wood has been in some decent positions twice now. Someone needs to pass to him. Yeah, I agree with that. He's done two good runs, but unfortunately, the players just says it all, doesn't it, about the confidence that the players have in him. Terrace says, I've given up on Murphy. Yeah, he's had a quiet game here, without a shadow of doubt in the first half. He hasn't been as involved as I think he'd want to be. Free kick to Vallecano, straight at Nick Pope, and he deals with it very well. Status says Vallecano won't sustain this tempo. Yeah, I think they'll tire very, very quickly, to be honest. Stephen Harker says, Shelvey is sloppy. It's time to go. I'm not sure I agree with that. I think when we've missed some of Shelvey's passing abilities in the early part of the season. But everyone's got their opinion on Shelvey, and that will never change. Longstaff, good work. Great ball, that by Chris Wood. He saw a great run by Trippier. Plays it in. I think Murphy would have been offside there. I think he made a run far too early. It was a good ball across by Trippier, but I think Murphy had made a move too soon. But obviously, Vallecano maintained possession, so the whistle didn't go. But that's better from Chris Wood. It was a lovely ball. He saw out the corner of his eye. He saw the run of Trippier, but Vallecano could be in here. This is a big opportunity. But again, there was a guy on the left-hand side completely free, and they just didn't give him the ball. And now Newcastle have got men back, and the attack is over. Aston says some of the passing is a bit rusty, but that's to be expected. Yeah, again, I mean, come on. It's been a long time. They've had the Al Hilal friendly, but again, there's first-team players missing from this. We know there is, so, just one of them things. It's all about getting your timing and your fitness right going into the match on Tuesday. because there's no doubt we want to win that game on Tuesday and keep that cup run going. Long ball played up to Chris Wood. He chests it down nicely, actually, to Murphy. Murphy out to Kieran Trippier on the right. Trippier, again, looks for Murphy to make a move, but he was a little bit static, but he got away with it. Now John Joe Shelvey. He tried to pull it back into Murphy, but the Vallecano defence was alert to that. And they have the ball back now and try and build something on the left-hand side. Still 1-0 to Newcastle, coming up to the half-hour mark with that goal very early doors from Sean Longstaff. Lovely shot into the roof of the net. The ball came across. It was, Chris Wood didn't make a run. It was headed down by the Vallecano player to try and clear it. It lands at Longstaff's feet and he smashed it home. That's a foul. Free kick to Newcastle. Murphy played it quickly, and it's now with John Joe Shelvey in that quarterback role again. Lays it into to Murphy. Murphy into Willock. He's got a good run from Matt Targett on the left-hand side now. Matty Targett pulls it back to Willock. Willock inside to Murphy. Murphy, lovely ball back to Willock. That's great football from Newcastle. That's an awful ball from Willock. That really is a terrible ball. He just needed to roll it into Matty Targett, and he overhit it, and it rolls out for a goal kick. And that's where, sometimes Willock just needs to keep his head a little bit more. There was no need to panic with that. It was a great move developing. And in the end, a very, very poor pass. And the ball rolls out. Statos says, Lascelles on the halfway line is terrifying, but he's been fine when needed this season. So thumbs up. Yep. He's done all right in this game as well, to be fair, has Lascelles. And now Longstaff's gone down here. There's nobody around him. Obviously, we don't have any. There's an offside against Vallecano anyway, but I don't know what Longstaff was doing on the ground there. But he's up. He's all right. Lovely ball again by Chris Wood out to the right-hand side for Trippier. Trippier rolls it into Willock. Big chance here. Willock! And he hits it straight at the keeper. In fact, it was Murphy, not Willock. But a good run from Jacob Murphy there, but the finish was straight at the goalkeeper. The angle probably didn't favour him at all, and Vallecano win a free kick. There's some very tasty tackles going on here. Paul Gallant says there was a friendly yesterday as well. So the commentators have just said on the game. So yeah, there would have been some first team players involved in that. So that was behind closed doors, as Julie mentioned earlier on. Shelvey's got the pings and shots, indeed. Samsonite says Shelvey a bit hit and miss on the passes so far, but early days. Yeah, look, come on. We've got to remember how long John Joe's actually been out for. He's only just made his return. So let's give him an opportunity to get that fitness right up. Maxi decides to go on a run, but unfortunately tackled. Vallecano bring the ball away now into the Newcastle half. But so far, there's only really been the one shot on Nick Pope that really threatened him, which was in the first 2 minutes of the game, which was a volley that the beat. And there's a Vallecano player gone down, hammering the floor here. Newcastle are going to kick this out so he can get some treatment. I'm not sure what happened there. Sort of coming together. Ian Skinner says, "Is Bruno on the bench?" No, it's all kids on the bench, Ian. As I said, there was a behind closed doors friendly yesterday. So some of the players would have been involved in that. I'm not sure whether Bruno was, to be fair, but some of them were, which is why they're not involved today. So they're all getting a good run out. Retro Andy says, "Have Vallecano had 80% possession, or are my stats off?" Way off. Way off, mate. There's no way they've had 80% possession in this game. It's pretty much been dominated by us. Vallecano had a very early opportunity. Nick Pope brilliantly saved it. But we've been... Oh, that's a beautiful ball. Just overhit as Murphy tries to get on the end of it. Yeah, James just confirming that his stats are way off as well. As Vallecano try and build again, but a good interception by Matt Targett. Very quick. Again, not giving the Vallecano players any time on the ball at all. Just as soon as it's with a Vallecano player, we're swamping them. And Kendo makes a good point there in the chat that it's a good tempo for a friendly. It is. And I think it was always going to be that because of the season kicking off. A lovely little flick again from Chris Wood. He's been practicing that. The little flicks out to Kieran Trippier and Longstaff on the right-hand side without a shadow of a doubt. 3 or 4 times he's done that now and found the right-hand side in acres of space. Really good play that from Chris Wood. As Vallecano win a free kick towards the halfway line. Certainly no threat at all at the minute. Surprised Murphy didn't hit the posters, Darren. Yeah, well, you know what? I mean, just Murphy's what he is. I mean, he hasn't really played too well in this game, to be honest. But again, there's Nick Pope straight out to gather the ball from the free kick and rolls it out to Shelby. Quickly into Kieran Trippier. Trippier waving his hands forward to people to make runs. I just love that. It's a bloody friendly, and he's still going at them. Brilliant stuff from who is my captain of this club. I know Lascelles is captain today, but that's offside by Longstaff. That's poor. No real effort from Longstaff there to get himself onside. A little bit disappointing. Holly says 2-0. I don't think that's a spoiler, Jules. I think she's going for a 2-0 result because we're all watching at the same time here. There's no way she can be ahead of us, to be honest. So, yeah. Here's St. Maximan. He went for a shot. It's bounced lovely for Longstaff. Oh, he just couldn't get the shot away. Murphy now cuts back inside and the move's gone dead. Real opportunity there. But here come Newcastle again. Trippier in loads of space. Chips a ball. It's a header from Willock. It's blocked. It wasn't the best header from Willock, really. I mean, he should have really absolutely nailed that header. But unfortunately, it wasn't to be. And it just hit the defender. Jodemir, who scored? It was Sean Longstaff after around 4 minutes. Good play again by Newcastle. Vallecano just can't get the ball off us. And when they do get the ball, they lose it straight. We're all over them like a rash. It's absolutely superb stuff from Newcastle. Lascelles standing up again, holds onto the ball, does really well there, rolls it back to Trippier now. Trippier goes all the way across the left-hand side, or tried to. Willock had made a good run, but now Vallecano come away with the ball. Target's been caught upfield a little bit here. Crossfield ball. Again, Trippier's underneath that to intercept it. Brilliant stuff. Just reads the game so well, does Kieran Trippier. You know, he may not have the pace he used to have, but my God, he reads the game so well. And it's awesome. It really is. Just so you can see him just standing up to intercept. Willock, lovely little bit of play. Sorry for Murphy. Lays it into Willock now. Good move from Newcastle again. He's got Maxi to his left. Maxi not really making a run. That's poor from Maxi. He's twisting on, but that was lazy from Maxi. Really, really poor. And he shouldn't be having to go at Willock for that because he didn't make a run. Willock's expecting him to make a run down the left-hand side there, and Maxi doesn't. Willock plays the ball in, and Maxi has a go at him. I do not like that. You know, Maxi's in no position to have a go at Joe Willock for that, and that was disappointing. Nonsense, Paul. Willock chose to go central. Nothing to do with Maxi. Of course it was, man. Howie, Alex. Maxi was on the left-hand side there, and just Willock was wanting him to make a run to play the ball in. It was there for all to see. Sometimes Maxi does things wrong, Alex. Ian says number 7 looks for them looks useful. He does, actually. I was just going to say that. He looks a decent player. As Maxi has it now. Cuts back in his right foot. Plays a lovely ball, but it's just doesn't have the pace on it. Lascelles now for Newcastle. Rolls it into John Joe Shelby. Shelby down to Murphy on the right-hand side. Murphy is, directed back to Lascelles by Kieran Trippier. Botman now. Long Matt Target into Maxi. Maxi, again, nasty tackle from behind. And I don't like to see that. That's about the 3rd or 4th time that's happened in this half. Stephen says Maxi checked his run, but then failed to continue the run. Just rusty. Paul says Maxi is doing my head in. Won't lie, throwing himself to the ground, looking like a car's hit him, getting back up, and now moaning when he's not made the run into space. He is what he is. He's frustrating. He's wonderful. He's fantastic. It's just Maxi. But that was a nasty tackle on him there, I have to say. Again, 3 or 4 times that's happened in this first half where players have gone through the back of the Newcastle players. A couple of times they obviously haven't taken the man, they've won the ball, and the referee's allowed play to go on. But some of these tackles are a little bit iffy here. He certainly didn't get the ball on Maxi there. Maxi had gained possession of the ball and was well and truly nailed there. Anyway, Lascelles brings it out for Newcastle. He decides to go long. It's an awful ball, which we know Lascelles just cannot do, is play those side of balls that Botman does. He's just not good enough to do that. Vallecano back in possession of the ball. Rich says Botman, Trips, Longstaff and Pope are clearly a cut above the rest today. Yeah, I would agree with that. But again, Newcastle riskily playing out there, and Chris Wood had come right back to literally 18 yards out. I don't know why he's back there. He needs to get himself forward. That's a nice turn by Jacob Murphy. Shrugs off the Vallecano player. Breaks through the middle of the field. What a run that is by Murphy. Just couldn't slide it into Willock. It was good defending in the end. But again, the final ball by Murphy was a letdown after a wonderful run. Ian, thank you very much for your £10 super chat. Listening to your great commentary while watching the Celtic game. So best of both worlds, Paul. Well, thank you very much, Ian. And thank you for that indeed. Status says Wood playing deep. Would rather we just signed an attacking midfielder. Yeah, I've noticed how deep he's coming. It's bizarre. I mean, he was literally on our own 18-yard box a couple of minutes ago. Not sure why that is, but never mind. Guys, if you're enjoying the show, please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. We are a Newcastle United channel, but we do have many, many subscribers who aren't Newcastle fans because they love the football banter on this channel. So please do subscribe and hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or upload. And of course, you can donate by hitting the $ at the bottom of the live comments. As Vallecano now having a brief spell in Newcastle United's half here. So far, apart from that volley, which was brilliantly saved by Nick Pope, they've offered nothing. Paul says Wood's doing a Harry Kane. Yeah, I was going to say that, yeah. Oh, have they beaten the offside trap here, Vallecano? They have, but it was an awful, awful touch or non-touch by the centre-forward there. He had a real opportunity. He was through on goal. And the touch was awful, and Trippier swept it up. And the danger disappeared. Maxi down again, complaining. I think Maxi's getting a little bit frustrated at the amount of times that, you know, the Vallecano players are coming through the back of him. It is dangerous and can cause injuries, of course. We know that, as Murphy's taken out off the ball as well. Just noticing that there to the left of the screen. But Longstaff plays a lovely ball across to Botman. Botman brings it forward. Little ball into Chris Wood. Wood goes back to Botman. Botman does have Pope in support. He's also got Matt Target. Target lays a first-time ball into Shelvey. Shelvey back to Target. And then Shelvey taken out very late as well. I mean, come on, guys. Referee's got to get a grip on this because it's absolutely abysmal. It's poor. The tackling has been a little bit iffy in this first half. I know it's a friendly, but the referee hasn't even brandished a yellow card either, which I think is criminal. Arturo, thank you very much for your €50, mate. Very, very kind. Thank you so much. With the quote, "How are the lads?" Ian McKenna says, a few years ago, I got a Christmas present from my brother of a car shampoo kit. When I pointed out I didn't have a car, he said, I know, but it was cheap. Wow. Wow. Cracking ball by Longstaff across to Kieran Trippier on the right-hand side. Rolls it back to Lascelles. Lascelles plays a lovely ball up to Jacob Murphy now on the right-hand side. Murphy's got further support. Willock makes a run. It's a good ball over the top for Joe Willock. Willock now. Has anybody got the pace in the middle? But the cross was blocked, and it's a corner to Newcastle. Chris Bell says, good warm-up game to get back into things. Yeah, it has been a very fast-paced first half, this. Got about 4 or 5 minutes to half time, but it was expected to be like this because of the season starting up very soon again. They need to get the fitness back, the touch, the time, and everything like that has to come back very, very quickly. And so far it has. I mean, there's been some off passes. Don't get me wrong, but the majority has been good. In swinging corner from Matt Target, headed away. Trippier now for Newcastle, rolls it to Murphy. Murphy back to Trippier. He's got Matt Target over the top here. In acres of space, he smashes a right foot cross, and that's why he's a left back and not a right back. Awful. It's fair to say, but it is a goal kick, or is it a throw in? I think that's actually gone for a throw in. It has indeed. A throw into Vallecano deep in their own half. CKM says, Vallecano was so poor today. We should definitely take advantage of this. I want to see more from us in the second half. I think we've done all right. I mean, yeah, I would like to see a few more shots on goal, but to be honest, I'm not really worried about that. I think we're doing quite well today. We've played all right. Lovely ball out to the left-hand side. Lascelles leaves a mark on the striker, though. He may be called back for that, but here come Vallecano, ball across. Lascelles gets a touch, and it goes for a corner. Lascelles looked a bit dodgy there, to be honest. He made one of those runs where he tried to win the ball, and he didn't, and took the man out. And then a very indecisive touch leads to a Vallecano corner right before half-time. This, certainly for them, it would be a great time to score. Willock showing Murphy how it's done. Indeed. Here comes the corner. Poor header from Lascelles again. And Vallecano somehow don't score. It's in the arms of Nick Pope. I don't know what sort of header that was by Lascelles. It was like a flick on for Vallecano, really. Flick the ball on. Unbelievable stuff. Rachel, thank you so much for your £10 super chat. She says, great to have football back at St James's Park and normal service resuming on the Toon review. Perfect way to recover from a hangover. Indeed. Billy, I know you're watching. How was your hangover this morning after your work stew last night, mate? Do let me know. As Vallecano come away with the ball again. We've got a couple of minutes now before half-time in this game. Still Newcastle leading by a goal to nil. Should be more, in fairness. It should be a lot more. As Wood sadly lose the ball there. Vallecano trying to play out, but good pressing again by Target, but he doesn't get the ball. This number 7 for Vallecano has impressed me a lot, but unfortunately he comes up against Sven Botman there and no way through. Shelvey now for Newcastle United. Trippier is making a run again down the right-hand side. Shelvey sees him, plays it out just over the halfway line into Vallecano's half here. Back to John Joe Shelvey. Shelvey just taking his time, has a look, just goes to ping another one of those crossfield balls. It's a beauty right under the feet of Maxi. Maxi now cuts inside. He's got 2 Vallecano players, but he goes to the byline. Again, surrounded by 2, tries to slide his way around, but he's crowded out eventually, but wins the ball back with a sliding tackle and gets a little bit of his own back. Well done on you, Maxi. Billy says sausage, bacon, and egg sarnie, and I'm almost human. Well, nice one. Status says Rayo are so poor. Yeah, they are. Been very disappointed with them, considering they're 8th in the La Liga. You know, and this is a team, remember, that beat Real Madrid 3-2. The first team to beat Real Madrid this season, let's not forget. So they're not entirely a bad side. Or is it just that we're making them look bad? You know, as soon as they get the ball, we are pressing them, we are hassling them. They don't have any time to get the head up and play a ball. We're just all over them very, very quickly. Stephen says, anyone know the attendance today? No, but it looks quite full at St James's Park. Again, another bumper crowd, even just for a friendly. Well played, Jacob Murphy. Stops the goalkeeper's clearance. Murphy gets to the byline. And again, can't get the... He should have done better there. He had an opportunity to get the cross in way before he tried. And it didn't come. But the referee blows right on 45. And the first half comes to a close with Newcastle United leading by 1-0. The goal coming from Sean Longstaff after, I think it was around about the 4th minute. It was a good goal as well. The cross came in looking for Jacob Murphy, couldn't find it, looking for Chris Wood, sorry, couldn't find him, and it bounced nicely to Sean Longstaff, and he rifled the ball in the net. Since then, it's been pretty much all Newcastle. Great possession, great passing, great movement most of the time. But unfortunately, we just haven't managed to get that second goal, which is a little bit disappointing. I expect to see changes in the second half, maybe not straight away. I think, you know, you probably give them another 10, 15 minutes and then bring some of the kids on, because he will want them to be at the peak with fitness-wise going into the game on Tuesday. But 1-0 half-time. Stephen says, good crowd. Wouldn't expect anything less from the Geordies, indeed. Rich says, I'm not sure Maxi is entirely fit. He looks a bit chunky compared to how the others look. I really want to get him that consistency back, and I back him to eventually. That's the most Murphy thing he could have done, indeed. Arturo, thank you for another €10. He says, it's a frustration not watching the game. Sorry, mate. I just hope that the commentary's good for you, though. Roy says, has Billy recovered yet? I think he has. He's talking about his an egg sarnie and things like that. My screen has gone funnily. It's gone back to the main camera now. So Stephen says we really need another winger in January with a centre midfield and a left back. I don't think left back's a problem at the minute, Stephen, to be honest. I think we'll hang on the left back. Certainly the midfielder, sort of attacking midfielder role, I think, we've discussed James Maddison on numerous occasions. But don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, me and Alex have another show. We have another transfer show, which is going to be great. And then we'll also have a quick chat about this game today. So join us for that, because we do have some more players that we are going to run through, which we are thoroughly looking forward to. I'm really looking forward to the transfer window, actually, because I think it's going to be one of those where you just never know what's going to happen. We may have opportunity to sign some big players. We may not. I will stick by what I said quite a while ago, that I really do think that James Maddison is going to be our marquee sign, or certainly that is who the new owners are going to be wanting to be our marquee sign. And I think James Maddison is one of those that we need. Is he good enough? Absolutely. I have no doubt about that. I'd love to see James Maddison in a black-white shirt. Keith says, loving the difference Shelby is having in midfield. It means Bruno can start to push forward when he's back. Yeah, it gives us a lot of options, doesn't it? Because it also depends on the opposition and who Eddie Howe wants there. Let's be honest. Eddie Howe may want certain players against certain teams, and he's got that at the minute. Terrace says Murphy is useless. Wood is always Woody, and Willock lacks concentration. He does lose concentration a couple of times, but listen, Willock's had a good game today. No doubt about it. Ian, good afternoon to you. Malcolm says our passing is crap, ball management terrible, keep losing the ball. You can see how rusty we are. Malcolm, I think that's a little bit over harsh, mate, to be honest. I don't really think that we've been that bad. Some of the passing's been wonderful, actually. Some of the one-touch stuff we've played. Yes, I would agree that the final ball is the one that's let us down the most, I think. We haven't really played very well on the final ball. J.Lo Broski says, are you doing a stream later tonight? Yes, we are, 7 p.m. With the Newcastle United transfer show with myself and Alex, where we'll be discussing some more names linked with the club. And, of course, we'll be having a look back at this game today as well. Did Anderson play yesterday? He's not on the bench today. We don't know who played yesterday, mate, to be honest. It was behind closed doors. Nothing much has been said about it. So I would imagine, yes, that possibly Miggy was involved as well. Joe Linton, possibly. So there would be a few first-team players played yesterday. But we don't know much about it at all. Ashley says, I think Eddie's tactic is pressing, practice, and no prats in the team. Indeed. Chris says, great first half, Paul. Time for a hot toddy to warm me up. Absolutely. It is a cold day again, but I think it's a little bit milder than it's been. I think we've got to have a bit of mild weather for a couple of days, which is nice. Billy needs some of them, those real American baked beans. Absolutely. Julie's asking Alex if he's prepping for your Maxi speech later. He probably is. Anthony says, well, that was painless so far. They look like school kids compared to us. Champions so far. I'm buzzing. We're back. Indeed. Andy says, who was the behind doors of friendly again? I have no idea. I didn't even know it was happening, but I'm not in the know, Andy. I wouldn't have a clue, mate. I just I see as much news as you guys do at times, and unfortunately, I don't know. But it may have been played against the academy or someone like that. It could have been against the under-23s for all we know. We just to get the fitness up. Daniil says, afternoon, Paul. Not bad for a second-string side. I'm not too disappointed in this performance so far, to be honest. I'm quite enjoying it. Ex-Bournemouth players need to go except for Wilson, says Jack. Possibly, yeah. Stephen says the left-back thing has been playing on my mind, Paul. I don't think Target is settled with his other half. Looks like the world's on his shoulders and very disengaged. Interesting. Haven't heard anything, but again, it's your observation, I suppose, to be honest. Oh, quite like that scoreboard, actually. I think I'm going to leave that scoreboard on there for now. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why the bloody hell not? Steve says it's a poor game. You can see both sides are rusty. Main issue, poor passing by both sides. Uh, I've got to disagree with you, Steve, actually. I think it's been a decent game from us, from our point of view. I'm quite happy with the way we've played. Yeah, look, some passes have been a bit of a miss, but most of them haven't. If we're fair, we've played some nice one-touch football. We've played some good stuff. We're playing at a high tempo. I don't think we could have asked for much more, to be honest. So a little bit harsh. God's 3 cases can tell it's not our best 11. I think Willock has been poor, and I hope Maxi can step up in the second half of the season. He loves the club so much. Toon United says, any first-team players on the bench? No, none. Paul, I heard we are in for Maloko, Mac Loco from Dortmund, as he's on a free in the summer. 89 goals in 120 games at 18. Interesting. Yeah, interesting indeed. V for Vendetta says, poor game. You can see both teams are rusty. Long along the floor passes from deep are high risk when there is space for those with the ball to carry it into, though. Listen, I mean, look, I'm certainly not going to have a dig at anybody for having an opinion, because that's what football is all about. It's about opinions. It's about what you guys think is going on the pitch. But for me, I'm quite happy with the way we've played. Considering the season kicks off again next week, I think we're playing at a high tempo. I think we're getting the fitness right. I think the timing will come in stages. I mean, we've seen some good passing so far. Let's have a look. We're going to win, of course. Status is both a little rusty, but we're clearly dominant and have shown some quality in parts. Absolutely, 100% agree. Target has won loads of possession. What are the negative Nellies watching? Anthony, look, everyone's going to have their opinion, mate, but I agree with you. I don't know. I think Target's done okay. I don't see a major problem going on here. I think we've played very well. I think given that we haven't kicked the ball in anger for so long, I think the tempo is good, and I'm looking forward to the second half. Really over 400 people. Well, we've got nearly 600. Not hit the like button. Only about a quarter of us have so far. It's really easy to help Paul out, says Ashley. Thank you very much. Yeah, please all. Why don't you all just take a second now and hit the like button for us? Because it really does, as I say, help the channel immensely. So please do hit that like button. And also, if you're new to the channel and like what you see, hit the subscribe button. Come and be part of the Toon Review community. We have lots of subscribers who aren't Newcastle United fans, simply because they love the football banter, but also Newcastle United fans as well. Get yourself subscribed, free to do so, and also hit that notification bell, which will tell you when we go live or we upload. And also, you can donate to the channel if you so wish by hitting that $sign, which is at the bottom of the live comments. And thank you so far to everybody that has donated. Really do appreciate that. David says Murphy needs to get his shooting boots on, but is still a good player. Billy says, I think Willock has been decent. Not sure where the criticism for him is coming from. Well, listen, when you've got Shelby and Willock on the pitch, Billy, one of them is going to get criticised, isn't it? I mean, I agree. I just don't understand why Willock is getting criticised. I think he's had a very good first game. Keith Downey just tweeted about 35,000 in attendance. Shame Isak isn't playing. Absolutely. Daniil says Willock has done all right. I tend to agree. Totally agree, actually. Willock fits into our team so well. He is one of the only players that can run forward with pace. Rich says, I think we will get 2 big signings in January and a few smaller signings for the future, like Ashby. I'm absolutely sure one will be Madison or maybe Hope. Yeah, I'm kind of in that boat, Rich, as well. Hope more so than expectation. But listen, we have hope now, and that is the big difference with this football club, is that we've got hope now, whereas 2 years ago we were slumming it basically. So I'm really, really happy with the way things are going. Julie says, I think some expectations need to be managed. We're not going to smash every team or indeed play at 110% every game, and that's okay. We're progressing very nicely. Absolutely. Markham says, let's hope for some positive changes in the second half. Maybe some of the younger players will offer more pace up front. Nathan says 35k for a friendly on a freezing Saturday just before Christmas. Wow, indeed. The Toon Rocker says would have gone live myself, but booked 2 days off for my 10th wedding anniversary. Well, there you go. Stephen says, should we be worried about Isak's continued absence? Well, I discussed this with Stato last night, and yesterday during the transfer show. And for me, he's not worried. Am I worried? Then not really. I think if there'd been anything serious to come about, then we would have. I expect the club would have told us if there was something serious to worry about Isak. But luckily for us, there isn't. And I think he'll be training again this week and building himself up. It's one of those muscle injuries that takes time, and then we just have to accept that. But I was worried at first, but then you think about it and you think, well, if it was anything serious, the way the communication has been with Newcastle United since we were taking over, I would have expected something to have been said just to keep the fans in the loop. So we haven't. So that says to me that, it's not all panic and doom and gloom. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Nathan says there's no need to rush Isak back. Plenty of time, and we are not in a desperate position. Steve says, I think we've controlled the game with a good mixed side. Not our first 11, but it's a good decision to play this match to get back into the rhythm of games and match days. I think that'd be the only thing I'm concerned about from that first half is the tackling from Vallecano. It's been pretty full on, it's fair to say. I think there's been quite a few tackles from behind which have worried me a little bit, certainly on Maxi. But hopefully, nothing will come from that, and we'll just see the game out. Afternoon, everyone. Gvardiol would be a great signing. Absolutely. Rich says Isak will be like a new signing, to be fair, and look at what we've done without him when we actually expected to have him fit for the first half of the season. Because he's only played a couple of games, hasn't he? I just think our midfield, we're trying a bit too hard to find that killer pass, a bit too early and from a bit too deep. So far, so good. This is just a friendly to get our eye in before the next match, indeed. Ian says, when did the NUFC store close in Eldon Square? No idea. David says, in honesty, if it wasn't subscribed to the channel, I wouldn't have been notified of the watch along because of Christmas crap. I forgot about the match. It's simple to like and subscribe, guys. Thank you very much, David. Really appreciate that. Ashley says, it's just nice that we can survive when we do have injuries. I think when we return him, he should take the wood role of coming on for 20 minutes or so at the end of each game. Yeah. Certainly, Eddie will play him slowly back. He won't throw him back in at the deep end. Reese says, how's your day going on, mate? I hope we win. I'm fine, Reese, and yes, I really do hope we win and keep this fantastic feeling going at the club. The Toon Rocker says, who do you think will sign from all the rumours? Look, I don't know, mate, to be honest. We're going to be linked with so many players in the next few weeks. It is going to be absolutely outrageous, the amount of players we're going to be linked with. But look, that's where we are now. We're shopping with the big boys, and we're going to be linked to a lot of players. So, yeah, it's exciting. Maddison, for me, is the standout who I'd love to see come to the club. I won't change my mind on that. I think he'd be a fantastic acquisition with a couple of youngsters. Certainly, Harrison Ashby from West Ham. For me, that looks like a done deal as soon as the window opens. So excited about seeing him. Malcolm says, just tuned in, 2:30 a.m. here in, wow, what have I missed? Well, you missed a decent first half and a goal from Sean Longstaff. Rochi says, does anyone know what Maxi was referring to on his video when he said that you are not ready for what's coming, so be ready? God knows. Maybe he's talking about his game. I don't know. I really don't. Ian says, I bet they're selling loads of hot Bovril at the game. Absolutely. But you know what us Geordies are like. There'll be plenty still drinking pints of ale. There's no doubt about that. Just tuned in, mate. Hope you're well, says Niall. Hope you're well too, Niall. As Newcastle United step back onto the pitch. And incidentally, not led onto the pitch by... Oh, yes, he is. I thought I couldn't see Lascelles for a second there, but he is there. Gakpo linked to us as Peter. Yeah, again, he was linked to us in January, to be fair, before the World Cup. So who knows? But like I said, there's going to be a lot of players. Paul, the question I wanted to ask you, if Newcastle get top 4, 11 players in that team will be pushed for top players, as Piff made it clear to Eddie once more in Saudi. Yeah, of course they will. Look, these players know, and they've got to perform at an exceptionally high standard week in, week out, because things are going to change at this football club and change very, very quickly. I don't think anyone expected us to be in 3rd place in the Premier League now, moving into the second half of the season. If you'd have said to me or many other Newcastle fans that we would be 3rd in the Premier League at the World Cup break, we probably would have laughed in your face, if we're being honest. But we are where we are, and I think we have to respond to that position by the players that we bring in. Anyway, Vallecano are going to get us underway for the second half. And here we go. We're underway. Second half has begun at St. James's Park. 1-0 Newcastle lead. I believe Vallecano made a couple of substitutions there at the start of the second half. Julie J says Man United sniffing around Gakpo as well. Yep, they are. But who has the biggest pulling power at the minute? As Newcastle United just playing it around at the back. Trippier told Lascelles to go back to the goalkeeper. Lascelles ignored him, plays it up the field to nobody. Could have gone back to Nick Pope quite easily there, but he didn't. And that's the difference in quality for me. But here comes Vallecano. Nice little move at the start of the second half. And can he keep that in? Yes, he can. Now trying to beat Kieran Trippier. No chance, sunshine. Goal kick. Throw into Vallecano. Half-time kick about more entertaining in the first half. I don't know, Peter. I don't know where you're getting that from. I really don't. Any youngsters in the lineup, says Malcolm? They're all on the bench, matey. Literally, the whole bench is made up of the under-23s, my friend. Arturo, thank you for another €5. He says we should get a physical, technical player so we avoid injuries. Listen, avoiding injuries is very difficult to do in football. We know that. That's a Newcastle throw. That surely came off the Vallecano player. Indeed, it did. Stephen says, let's go all out for youth with Maddison and Diaby. They'd be 2 very good signings. I think that would certainly complete us for the season. Rat says, I really want that Napoli winger from Georgia. He's the next Hazard. Yep, we discussed him yesterday on the transfer show. So if you haven't seen that, please go back and watch. Status says, Arturo, you're describing Joe Linton. Yeah, absolutely. Here's Willock for Newcastle United. Support on the left-hand side from Target. And Matt Target wins the throw-in. Takes a quick throw-in, looking for the runner, Chris Wood. And it's just cleared into the crowd again. Newcastle throw-in. The ball is now with Joe Willock. Willock cuts inside now and rolls the ball back to Sven Botman. Botman, again, in no rush, just rolls it to Shelvey. Shelvey, nice little play, and then hits a left-footed, brilliant ball out at Trippier. Wonderful pass that by John Joe Shelvey. Then rolls it down to Jacob Murphy. Murphy now has got Trippier in support. Sees a run from Longstaff, doesn't use him, pulls it back into Chris Wood. Chris Wood now, head up, rolls it to Jacob Murphy on the right-hand side. Murphy's got some support from Longstaff, doesn't use him, cuts all the way back to Sven Botman. Shelvey, Botman. Lascelles, nice little ball into Longstaff, but his pass is poor. And Vallecano, that's offside. Brilliantly stepped up by Kieran Trippier. Saw the opportunity there to step up and make sure he was offside. Great defending from Newcastle United there, all round. Kendo says, really nice to see youth being given a chance. Don't think Bruce did anything for them. Well, all he did was send them out on loan. He didn't have the confidence nor the ability to bring the youngsters on. And when you're a manager who's got no ability, as Steve Bruce didn't have, to bring any of the youngsters forward and bring them into the setup, then you're going to get nowhere. And that was just simply where Steve Bruce was. Wood can't control the ball from Botman, and it gives Vallecano a chance to attack into the Newcastle half now. Down the left-hand side, opportunity to get the ball in here. Lots of space. He's got Murphy to deal with. Murphy sticks to him. Cross comes in. Botman heads away. Maxi rolls it into Joe Willock. And again, Newcastle decide they're going to play the ball out here rather than just hoof it. Long ball by Matt Target is a poor one, though, for Maxi and floats out of play. Arturo, thank you for another €5. He says, Alex Arambat is not good as Big Joe technically, but he is physical and would be a good fit. Indeed. Thank you for your opinion there, Arturo. Nice bit of fancy dandy play by Maxi, but he's lost the ball. It's somehow stayed in play there. I don't really know how, but it has. And Maxi fouls. He's complaining, but he didn't get the ball. Just get on with it, Maxi. It's not life or death, mate. Oh, dear me. I mean, the Vallecano player there on the line has just ran straight into the shoulder of Matty Target, and he stayed down. There was no maliciousness at all in that. He just ran straight into Matt Target. I don't think he's going to need the physio, to be honest. He's all right. Foxy says, I think some are taking this friendly a bit too seriously. No need to be complaining. Just about everyone getting minutes before the restart. Paul's right. We have played fine so far. Status says, I don't think we'll sign anyone from the World Cup. We'll already have a list and a plan. Billy Trey says, sooner have Alvarez from Ajax than Arambat personally. Yeah, he's a good player, Alvarez. But it's strange, isn't it? A lot of people already having their opinions of who we should sign, who we shouldn't sign, and it's that excitement is building up for the transfer window, and of course the kickoff of the Premier League again, undoubtedly. Status says, unless someone becomes available unexpectedly and it fits the profile. Yeah, I mean, I have a feeling they will. You always get that sudden thing in a transfer window where it's all quiet, then suddenly somebody becomes available and away you go. As Willock just overruns the ball, and it's a goal kick to Vallecano. Chinglish reaction says, Maddison is a perfect fit for us. Would be gutted if he goes to Spurs or Liverpool. Well, he wants to come here. Many pundits have actually said that they've spoken to Maddison, and Maddison wants to be a Newcastle United player. So only time will tell whether we actually go for him or not. That's the biggest thing. We have to go for him to sign. Good stepping up by Lascelles there to win the ball back. Longstaff to Trippier. Lovely ball across to Joe Willock. Willock just waiting now for the run of Matty Target on the left-hand side. Willock could have broke there forward a lot quicker, I thought, there, but he decided not to. Shelby. Arturo, thanks for another €5. He says, Eric Gutierrez from PSV would be a better fit than Edson Alvarez, in my opinion. So, again, more opinions on the different signings that we could be making. Newcastle at the moment just holding on to possession in their own half, not being rushed in the slightest. Botman for Newcastle. It's a poor ball. It's intercepted, and this is an opportunity here for Vallecano. Brilliant defending, though, from John Joe Shelby, coming back and helping out there and winning the ball back and saving Botman's blushes there. Long ball from Target right across the field to Kieran Trippier. Still just level with Newcastle's 18-yard area at the moment. Trippier rolls the ball forward into Murphy. Murphy holds onto the ball. He's got 4 Vallecano players around him, and he beats them all and plays a lovely ball out to the left to Joe Willock. Willock not really bounding forward with any pace here. He's allowing players to get forward again. Nice ball out to the right-hand side. Longstaff, little 1-2 with Murphy. Murphy slightly overhit that, and it rolls out for a goal kick. Again, poor from Jacob Murphy, overhitting the ball. But Willock was a strange one there for me because we're breaking with pace, and he slowed it down to a jog, which enabled a lot of the Vallecano players there to get back. Nathan says, well, time to enjoy Paul's commentary and put on Bluetooth speaker and do some housework and finally unpack. I only got back on Monday. Yep, enjoy the unpacking, mate. It's always the worst part of getting back is unpacking. And here come Vallecano now, but a good header, good interception by Lascelles. And we win the ball back now with Matt Target. Botman. Put Botman under a lot of pressure there, Matt Target, with that pass. Nick Pope goes long to the left-hand side looking for Maxi, and Maxi is going to cause the defender all sorts of problems. He's trying to get round him, but he did well there, and it's back with the goalkeeper. Kelvin says he's not sure about Pulisic, but would love Zaha. Not for me. If it was between Pulisic and Zaha, that's terrible for Vallecano. I'm not sure what they were trying to do there. they've been poor today. They really have. And if this is how they're going to play in the second half of the season, I'd be worried if I was their fan. Murphy, great ball across, just too far in front of Chris Wood. And you have a feeling that if Chris Wood was any quicker, that would have been in the back of the net. But he's not known for his pace as Chris Wood, and didn't get on the end of it. And he's played a ball back for Maxi, but it ends up going all the way back to Willock. Willock into Maxi, back to Joe Willock. And that's where we missed the pace up front, because had it been somebody with a lot more pace, that would have been 2-0 without a shadow of a doubt. It was a good ball, that from Murphy. You can't complain about the ball across. It wasn't overhit or anything. It was just the fact that he's got no pace. Trippier intercepts a long ball forward. Willock. Sorry, that's Murphy again, turning really well, finding Joe Willock. Willock now. He goes left again to Maxi. Maxi is going to have a run this time. He's got 2 Vallecano players to deal with. Pulls it back to Willock, who is in support. Willock cuts onto his right, floats the ball across to the right-hand side, looking for Trippier. Trippier gets there with a header. But again, why is Chris Nutwood not anticipating that Trippier is going to win that header? You know, if he anticipates that Trippier wins that header and makes a move towards the ball, he's going to win that header. But he doesn't do that, and that is the real frustrating thing. It really is. Trippier won the header, and again, Chris Wood is standing 2 yards behind the defender. Really frustrating. Corner comes in to the near post, and it is Chris Wood who gets his head on it, but unfortunately off target, and a goal kick for Vallecano. Kelvin says, Isak starts for me when the Premier League returns. He won't start, mate. He's nowhere near match fitness yet. So that isn't going to happen. But it'd be good to have him back. That's a certainty. An absolute joy to have him back. As Vallecano now pressed down forward on the left-hand side. Well, I thought that ball had rolled out there, but the linesman said no. Play goes on. But literally offering nothing, Vallecano, at the moment. Absolutely nothing. They had that shot in the first 2 minutes, which Pope brilliantly saved. And then after that, wow, really poor. But they're coming forward here, but a good interception by Botman. And a nice bit of play from Newcastle to break away again. Maxi, he's got 4 Vallecano players now hovering around him, but he holds them off and lays it up to Longstaff. Longstaff's got Murphy in support, then goes on the overlap. Brilliant play, sort of. Not the best ball from Murphy. Oh, that's brilliant from Trippier. A little flick. Murphy on his left foot, and that's into the strawberry. Awful shot from Jacob Murphy. But what a lovely little flick that was from Trippier to keep the move alive there. But again, from Murphy, it was poor. He's got the chance of playing in Longstaff on the right-hand side, and he underhits the pass. Just bollocks. Not great from Murphy at all. Just send Murphy home, man, says Paul. Yeah, he's been slightly better second half, but certainly nothing to write home about. I mean, if at the minute, Miggy's way ahead in that position to start. No doubt about it. As Billy's just said, hardly Miggy. Yeah, really poor. Anyway, Trippier's on the ball now for Newcastle. He gives it away, and Vallecano have won the ball back. And then I think Longstaff's gone down. I don't even know if he was challenged there. And then now comes Nick Pope again in that sweeper position. I just love seeing that. As soon as the ball is played over the top, Nick Pope is out at 1,000 miles an hour and just belts the ball away. He's such a confidence factor for a defender. Now, this is a worry because Kieran Trippier's down injured. It's not Longstaff. It's Kieran Trippier. And I didn't see anybody near him there. Now, I'm hoping this is cramp. It's not cramp. He's feeling the inside of his groin. His right groin muscle here looks to be in a bit of... this is a worry. This is a worry because he's down. Or he's getting back up now. I think he's walking all right. Maybe just a niggle there. Maybe felt a twinge. Eddie Howe's having a chat with him now. Yeah, because Eddie will be wanting him to certainly wrap him in cotton wool if there is even a slight twinge because, he slipped on the grass and there was nobody near him. And you know what that's like. Sometimes when you slip, you do feel a quick twinge there, and it's like, is it serious? And then you have a bit of treatment. I mean, he's back on and running. Well, it looks like he's running okay, to be fair. As Vallecano now come on the attack. I say, haven't really threatened Nick Pope since that save after the second minute. But Newcastle just swarming. They really are swarming all over them. They've got Vallecano, don't know what's hit them. They've just had no time to play it. Maxi tries to play a ball in for Joe Willock, but it's overhit. And back now to the goalkeeper. No, Manquillo isn't on the bench, Chinglish. It's all kids on the bench today. But I think he'd be wanting to give these players as long as possible before making any changes, just to get the fitness right, obviously, for the Carabao Cup game that's coming up on Tuesday night. Nearly 650 people watching, guys. Thank you so much. That's incredible stuff. Thank you very much for that. If you are enjoying it, please do hit the like button. And if you're new to the channel, by all means, come and be part of the Toon Review community by hitting that subscribe button. Whether you're a Newcastle fan or not, come and have the banter, the football banter with us. And hit that notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. Again, poor ball by Maxi trying to play in Murphy. Maxi wins the ball back. It's a high five off Jacob Murphy. Ian says, not bad for a team with no Wilson, Isak, J7, Miggy or Bruno. Absolutely. You look at those. And, of course, Big Dan Byrne not involved today. So, we've got things to be very positive about here, but certainly way more than being negative. I mean, should we have had a few more goals? Absolutely. But listen, it is what it is. Malcolm says, did we really need to start Trips and Pope? Well, yeah. I mean, if Eddie Howe feels the need to start them, yes. Nick Pope didn't play any part in the World Cup, so why not play him? And as for Trippier, played the first couple of games, and Trippier himself will have wanted to play in one of these games. So, it's fine. Don't worry. Trippier's running fine now. He's running fine. There's no problem there at all. I think if there was anything to worry about, he would have been on the pitch. Or Fabian Schär as well, says Stato. Indeed. So we've got a lot of players to come into this first team. As Vallecano coming down the right-hand side now. Hint of offside there. The flag stays down. But again, Newcastle sweep up the problem. And Botman launches it to Chris Wood. Wood chests it down to Maxi. And Wood's been penalised for a handball there. Which is a shame because he managed to get the ball to Maxi and he was away. But we've seen nothing from Vallecano for an attacking sense. I think, they're just all over the place. They can't hold on to the ball. We are just swamping them. Longstaff now for Trippier down the right-hand side. He sees the run of Jacob Murphy. It's a brilliant ball by Trippier. Murphy, can he get the ball across? He's forced right into the corner. He's still got the ball. He's done really well there. And he finds Sean Longstaff. Longstaff rolls it back to Maxi. Maxi's got Willock in support. Here is Joe Willock. He's got an overlap from Matty Target. Target's ball across. Almost to Chris Wood. And then it's in the arms of the goalkeeper. Good move that from Newcastle United. Great football again. The right passes played at the right time there. And just unlucky the Target couldn't find Chris Wood there to make it 2-0. But very positive again on the attacking sense for Newcastle United. Just under half an hour of the game to go. I'm sure that we'll see some changes at some point from Eddie Howe very soon. But at the moment, nothing. Chinglish, does anyone know progress on Emil Kraft? He won't be back this season, mate. I'll be very surprised if we see Emil back this season. And again now, down the left-hand side, Cup Vallecano. Cross into the box is long. And, well, Willock is there. There's no Vallecano player on the end of it. He rolls it into Shelvey. Shelvey just clips the ball back to Matty Target. Again, Shelvey caught very late. The referee decides to wave play on. And there's a clear push on Maxi. And then he's brought down. I mean, there's some really little niggly shit going on here from Vallecano. And I think it's bordering more on frustration than anything else because they just can't get the ball off us. They're trying, very much so, but they are not succeeding at all. And it is really, really pissing them off because there's quite a few niggly tackles gone in now, which is starting to frustrate Newcastle as well. Such a breath of fresh air watching this high-tempo passing football compared to England, says Paul. Yeah, I'd agree with that. But we knew that was going to be the case as soon as we started watching Newcastle again. Trippier now again for Newcastle, going down the right-hand side. It's blocked. He leaves a little flick into Joe Willock. Willock is then, well, that's Murphy again. I keep getting Willock and Murphy mixed up here. I don't understand. Murphy's then having a chat with the Vallecano player saying, what the hell are you doing? Again, another late tackle, tripping. Malcolm says, who was the ref? I've got no idea. But again, Murphy, very angry with the Vallecano player there. And the referee is now deciding to have a word with the Spanish player. And rightly so, because these tackles are getting very niggly all of a sudden. Trippier takes a quick one to Shelby and then rolls it back now for Jamal Lascelles. Swings that across to Sven Botman. Keeps it going left now to Target. Target goes back to Sven Botman. Botman again looking to launch a diagonal ball that goes back to Lascelles. He touches it back to Nick Pope. Pope then rolls it back to Botman. Botman into John Joe Shelby. Shelby, a lovely touch. Botman slightly overhit that pass, but a lovely touch. That's lovely from Newcastle again. Flick from Murphy to Longstaff. Then sends Willock away now. Joe Willock into Maxi. Maxi tried to cut in his right foot. Tries to bend one, and it wasn't hit with enough pace, really. And it was like a back pass to the goalkeeper there. Disappointing that, because that was an opportunity for Maxi to grab a goal, but he tried to do, that cut onto his right foot and fire it into the bar corner, but it didn't happen. Still no subs looking to come on at the moment, so Eddie is probably just giving these a real good test and run out. But we've played well. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, we've been a little bit rusty, but the majority of this game we've played really well. And that's a terrible back pass from Lascelles, and he put Nick Pope in serious trouble there. And lucky for Lascelles, he's got an offside decision, because the back pass was rotten. Completely fluffed the back pass. Nick Pope had to come out at 100 miles an hour, and he managed to clear the ball. And then Lascelles confidently put his arm up as if to say, it's offside. I knew it was offside, when he didn't. Jesus Christ. That's the Premier League. Any back pass like that, you get punished. It's as simple as that. You get punished. Anyway, it's cleared by Nick Pope. Chris Wood was under it, fighting for it. At the minute, there's just nowhere for Vallecano to go. There is nowhere. We just step up and win the ball back every time. And we are, people that are saying this isn't a good performance, I think needs the head shaking, because it is. Yes, there's been some dodgy stuff, but that will happen in friendlies when you're getting your touchback. But overall, I've been very happy with the performance. Oh, that looks like a penalty. And it is. Joe Willock is brought down, and the referee had no doubt put the point to the penalty spot. And this is going to be an opportunity for Chris Wood. The Vallecano players are furious, but it is a penalty. I mean, I thought when I saw it there, that not one of them got the ball. And that's what Joe Willock is saying. You didn't get the ball, pal. There's no VAR, of course, and it is going to be a penalty. I didn't have any doubts, actually, when I saw that happened. It just, there's no way Willock is going to go down in that circumstance. So it was a penalty all day long. Slid in, didn't get the ball, and a big opportunity now for Chris Wood. And of course, he's been superb for Newcastle from the penalty spot. There is no doubt about that. Again, just starting his run up right on the 18-yard box. Here he comes. Chris Wood smashes it into the top corner, and he doesn't miss penalties, does Chris Wood? Not a chance in hell. And Newcastle United are now 2-0 ahead. He just does not miss penalties, Chris Wood. One thing about him is he is a superb penalty taker. No doubt about that. We may criticize the rest of his game, but, from the penalty spot, he is absolutely awesome. There's no doubt about that. Newcastle United now 2-0 in front from the penalty spot. And of course, you know, we made and Vallecano are reacting with another 3 substitutes. Still no sign of any changes from Newcastle United. It really looks as if these players are, you know, out for the long haul here to get their fitness up, which is good. I don't mind that at all. Lejeune now coming on for Vallecano and gets a very good reception from the Newcastle fans, which is good to see because he deserves that. Because, to be honest, I think he got bruised half the time. His injuries didn't help, but he did get bruised. There's no doubt about that for me. He was managed wrong, and it was just he came at the wrong time. Simple as that. But a very, very good round of applause for Florian Lejeune, and good luck to him. Please don't forget to hit the like button, guys. Nearly 700 watching, which is fantastic. And please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, and the notification bell. Here is Willock again. Willock goes for the right foot. And Chris was disappointed that he didn't get played in. I think that was the ball. But again, positive stuff from Joe Willock. Just the shot wasn't great at the end there. But I've been very, very pleased with this Newcastle performance. 2-0 up. We've played very well. I think if anything, we've stepped it up a little bit more in the second half here, and we're just absolutely cruising. They haven't been able to. They haven't been able to play Vallecano. Every time they've got the ball, we've pressed and outworked them. And I don't think even Vallecano would have expected this kind of game where we are all over them as soon as they get the ball. They will have expected to have a bit more of the ball. They don't have that, and they're under real pressure. And to be fair, we've stepped up brilliantly. Oh, Willock could have played Maxi straight in, and again, they have a bit of an argument. It was unlucky that because Maxi was off. If Willock had played the ball first time, Maxi was clean through. Maxi then realised he was offside, came back. Willock then played the ball, and obviously it was too far in front of Maxi by then. So unfortunately, the move died off. But you could see what each player was trying to do there this time. There's that trademark header back to Nick Pope from Kieran Trippier, and then he just rolls it out to Longstaff. Longstaff up the line again. Trippier sees the run of Chris Wood, but didn't use him this time. That was actually a much better run by Chris Wood, which probably took Trippier by surprise there. Longstaff a touch back to Lascelles. Lascelles, oh my God. I mean, he's played it across the box to Shelvey, but with no pace on it again, and that scares the living crap out of me sometimes. He really does. Anyway, here's Maxi on the ball now, cutting inside, having a good run at the Vallecano defenders again. Tries to slip Murphy in. The ball rolls free to Longstaff. Down the line to Kieran Trippier. Trippier's got Longstaff in support, but he hangs onto the ball, plays a little ball into Murphy. Murphy has got Trippier and Longstaff. Longstaff now, he's got Maxi in support. Rolls it back to Maxi. Again, Newcastle just controlling and dictating the play as they've done most of this game. Lovely flick by Trippier for Longstaff, and Vallecano clear the ball for a throw-in. Lovely little football by Newcastle, though. Absolutely fantastic. As I say, some of the passing has been a little bit poor in the game, but the majority has been pretty much brilliant. And again, cruising. Trippier is going to take this throw-in to Longstaff, to Trippier. Eventually hounded out by, well, that's a bit of a dodgy clearance, but they get away with it. And now the break down the left-hand side. But again, Longstaff, he didn't get the ball there, it's fair to say. He's actually hurt himself as well. But I think that's a free kick to Vallecano. Longstaff slid in, but didn't put his leg out to actually tackle to win the ball. And he just sort of sent the guy spinning away there. But a very confident display, and it certainly should put all the Newcastle fans in a very good frame of mind for what's coming up this week, because, you know, we look good. We look very good, guys. I'm certainly not going to sit here and say I'm disappointed with this performance today, because I'm not. I'm really not. Now Vallecano coming forward down the right-hand side. Can they get through? No. Matt Targett steps up and intercepts the ball. And Shelvey puts it out for a throw into Vallecano. Again, as soon as they get to within 20, 25 yards out, it's like the door just slams shut and they can't get through. And we just deny them any chance of getting around us. It's wonderful to watch. And the majority of the timing from the defenders today, stepping up and winning the ball has been superb. It really has. Lascelles wins the ball there from a goal kick confidently. He's probably the only one in that back line who's looked a little bit ropey at times with his passing. 2 passes in the second half, which have been way under hit, but he's got away with them. Vallecano coming forward now down the left-hand side. First time they're really attacking with any intensity here. They're into the box, right down the left-hand side. Oh, it's an own goal. Oh, Matty Targett's put it in his own goal. He came sliding back. Nick Pope picks him off the floor. It's a pat on the back. I don't think anything's going to be truly worried about that. Trippier comes across and just says, don't worry about it, pal. You can see what he's trying to do. He came across to try and intercept the ball. He just a slide, basically. Came off his foot and rolled into the net. So it's Newcastle 2, Rayo Vallecano 1. And they do not deserve a goal. I will say that now. They do not deserve that at all. They've offered nothing in this game. That cutback was going nowhere. Target just tried to intercept it, and it's one of those that is unfortunately put in your own goal. But certainly no blame against Matty Target there. He was only trying to defend it, and unfortunately it's one of them that just ricocheted the wrong way. But it is 2-1. It's sort of game on, but Vallecano do not deserve that in the slightest. As Trippier plays the ball down the right-hand side to Jacob Murphy, who uses that pace to get the ball. He's pushed out the way, and the linesman doesn't even flag for a free kick. How on earth is that not a free kick? And then Longstaff wins the ball, and he blows for a free kick. I'm staggered. That is poor refereeing. I mean, the Jacob Murphy one in the corner there, he's blatantly pushed, and the linesman just looks at it and says, no. But we are going to see some Toon changes now. We have two changes. I'm trying to see who they are coming on. One of them, Shelvey's coming off. He's done okay today, John Joe Shelvey. He really has. Billy says, I knew Paul would have sympathy for an own goal. Forever will, mate. Forever will. And Chris Wood is the man coming off as Dylan Stevenson is replacing him. Big opportunity this for Dylan Stevenson. He's got a good, 15 minutes. Get out there and try and grab another goal as he did, of course, in Saudi earlier on this month. But Vallecano coming back on the attack now. Right down the left-hand byline. Clipped across. Opportunity! And it's straight at Nick Pope. It could so easily have been 2-2. Newcastle just completely shutting off there. And he should have done better. He had time and space to control that and volley it. And he completely fluffed it straight at Nick Pope. We slightly got away with one of them again. And we switched off, it's fair to say. Well won back. Good play by Sean Longstaff, who's played well today. Sean's had another good game. And really, you can see the work Eddie Howe is doing with him is really paying off. He certainly looks like he's bulked up a bit over the World Cup break. And he's played that defensive midfielder role very well today. And he's also got forward a lot. He's made some excellent runs into the box. And he's done okay. Botman pinned in there. Target does well to find Maxi. But again, the ball isn't lost. And Vallecano have got a new lease of life here, it's fair to say, doing most of the pressing all of a sudden, trying to get this equaliser. Good block by Target, and he wins a throw. Sammy Fires, thank you very much for your 1999 Saudi Arabian Riyal, mate. Very kind of you. One thing I'm afraid of after we return is we lose our momentum. Fingers crossed. I don't think we will, Sammy, and certainly from the two friendlies that I've seen so far, I don't believe for 1 second that momentum will be lost. I think it was a fabulous win against Al Hilal, who certainly gave us a test physically anyway. And Vallecano have done the same here, to be fair. We've played very well. So I'm not really worried about any momentum going. Not at all, to be honest. Lovely ball out to the right-hand side now. Kieran Trippier. Through ball looking for Dylan Stevenson. And that wasn't too bad, but just too far in front of Stevenson. And he couldn't get out. Vallecano, as I said, they won't want to lose this game. They will want to come out with a victory. Vallecano now have the ball right on the halfway line. Again, good pressing. And it runs out of play. Good work from the kid there. And Newcastle win a throw in. As Jason Tyndall just throws the ball to Kieran Trippier. And Kendo says their defenders won't be used to a striker with pace up front. Yeah, they haven't had any pace. What a ball that is from Trippier. Fired across the target, and he brings it down brilliantly. Then just rolls it back to Botman. Botman back to Matt Target. Target across to Lascelles. Good play again from Newcastle United. Lascelles now to Trippier on the right. Again, Trippier not being forced into anything. Lovely little flick to Longstaff. Longstaff down the line to Murphy. Beautiful football from Newcastle United. Again, Murphy, a little bit of a heavy touch, though, into the corner. I think that's Turner Cook, isn't it? Number 62. Is that Turner Cook? Somebody let me know. I think it is. But now we have Longstaff played it too far to the left of Dylan Stevenson. Botman wins the ball back for Newcastle United. Trippier now into Murphy. Murphy turns. Saw the run of Willock, but just couldn't slide it in there. And Newcastle win it back again. Good step up from Lascelles this time. Longstaff. Good ball into Willock. Willock on to Trippier now. Trippier flicks it back to Will, just slightly in front of him. But again, wonderful football from Newcastle United. Absolutely brilliant. Lawrence says it is Turner Cook. Thanks, mate. Longstaff wins the ball back. Turner Cook back to Longstaff. No, this is Turner Cook. He looked for Stevenson was itching for the ball there running through. Again, he's pointing to Willock where he wants the ball. Willock doesn't give him it, though. He turns back and goes back to Kieran Trippier, almost at a walking pace. Flicked on, but again, nothing comes of it for Rayo Vallecano. Back in for Willock now. Willock, he's got Maxi to his left. You know, a nice bit of dribbling by Joe Willock. Plays now to Maxi on the left. He's got 3 Vallecano players. He doesn't beat any of them. He goes down. He looked for that free kick. There was no doubt about that. He took a far too heavy touch and lost the ball and tried to go down and con the referee. It didn't work. But there's nowhere for Vallecano to go. They're just being shut out every time. Now Maxi, he's got Willock to his left. If he plays him in, he doesn't play him in. He takes it on himself. And again, rather, he's still going Maxi. Oh, dear me. I thought he fouled the Vallecano player. The referee said no. Great play that, though. Lascelles looking for Turner Cook, but doesn't find him. And then it's a handball by Lascelles. And there's going to be more substitutions. Falcao is coming on for Vallecano. So Radamel Falcao is coming on. He does have his mobility scooter with him, apparently. Stu, good afternoon. I hope you're well, mate. Tom Bravel is the ref. Never heard of him. But Kieran Trippier is coming off for, basically 83 minutes. So a good performance again by Kieran Trippier. And this guy, Miley, is now on for us. Another youngster. I'm trying to see who's gone to right back. Murphy's gone to right back. So interesting. That's not even a foul. The Vallecano player, can't believe, but Bottom wasn't even looking at him to foul him. So pathetic. Here's Willock for Newcastle United. Again, biting at the heels. Longstaff, good ball. Stevenson fighting for it, but can't come away with it. It's played in, looking for Falcao, but that's not going to happen. And it's back with His Holiness Nick Pope. Just over 6 minutes of normal time left. Newcastle United comfortably winning by 2-0. Goals from Sean Longstaff and a penalty from Chris Wood. But we've been in the driving seat since about the second minute of this game. There is no doubt about it. Vallecano, how they scored, I will never know in a million years, but they have through an own goal from Matt Target. But what a ball that is. Big chance for Newcastle down the left-hand side. Played across by Miley, looking for Willock, and it unfortunately didn't fall for him. Newcastle United win a corner. Good play there from the kids. But we've played really well. The second half, for me, second half, we have stepped it up even further from the first half. No doubt about that in my eyes. We've played really, really well second half. And as I say, I'm amazed Vallecano even scored, to be honest. But it did come from an own goal, to be fair. But you know what? They don't deserve to have one against their name. It should be nil. But never mind. Anyway, corner for Newcastle, swung into the 6-yard box, and the goalkeeper safely grabs that. Botman is complaining that he was dragged to the floor. He's certainly a unit, Botman. There's no doubt about that. And I think, for him to go down there, you have to ask questions. Oh, brilliantly won. But, that's a shame. I mean, Stevenson won the ball back brilliantly there. And Vallecano were in deep crud. And somehow the referee awards them a free kick. Bizarre. That's a foul by Longstaff. Quick free kick taken by Vallecano, who are still looking for this equaliser. Coming down the left-hand side. Played in, deflected high. It hasn't gone out to play yet. Yes, it has. Murphy concedes the throw in. The referee is a PE teacher from Newcastle, apparently. Interesting. Miley apparently is only 16 years old as well. So what a fantastic, achievement for him being on the pitch. I know it's only a friendly, but come on, you've got so many fans in that ground, and you're playing with some wonderful players. And on the same pitch as a legend like Falcao, whatever you think of it, he is an absolute legend of the game, Falcao. A wonderful goal scorer in his time. I think a nasty injury, really. I think when he was at Monaco, put a bit of a dent in his career, to be honest. But, hey, he's still going. Again, Miley not letting anything. Good work from the kids there. All three of them on the pitch there trying to win the ball back for Newcastle United. And that's a foul on Murphy. And it's going to be a free kick to Newcastle United. 3 minutes to go of normal time. I can't see there being a lot of injury time. Perry says, Paul, I want to show you a 1-of-1 Newcastle top. Have you got Instagram? Yes, I have. Just look for the Toon Review on Instagram, Perry. You will find me on there. Stephen says, good preparation for Tuesday night, and let's hope that we can get a good win and then back to the Premier League on Boxing Day. Absolutely. Stephen says, how many at the match? 35k, says Ches. Indeed, it was announced around about 35,000 in the ground. Unbelievable for a friendly against Vallecano a week before Christmas. Just unbelievable. Again. But I've certainly enjoyed this. It hasn't been a boring friendly by any stretch of the imagination. Some of the football that we have played has been quite sublime at times, especially in the second half. We've definitely stepped it up, and it's good to see. Really positive. I won't let any negative Nelly tell me otherwise. I think, we are looking still very, very good. There's no doubt about that in my eyes. Miley K says, has Lewis Miley came on yet? If he has, great. Me and my cousin know him. Yes, he's on the pitch now. Came on around about 6 or 7 minutes ago. Stevenson closes down the Vallecano keeper. Longstaff heads it down. Opportunity this for Newcastle. Bit of a heavy touch there by Miley. Couldn't find Willock. But again, straight digging in, straight into the Eddie Howe, business of playing, getting stuck in and winning the ball back if you lose it. Vallecano now searching for this equaliser. They might have an opportunity here down the left-hand side. Now, can he get a decent cross in? It's whipped across. Falcao is there, but just a little bit high for Radamel Falcao. He did get his head on it, but of course, it came to nothing as Willock just steps away from a rather nasty little dig at him. Vallecano really trying to get this equaliser now, trying to force Newcastle into a mistake, but it's back now with His Royal Holiness Nick Pope. So we're into the 90th minute now of the game. Newcastle absolutely on top. Over 750 watching, guys. Thank you so much for your company this afternoon. Really brilliant. Don't forget, tonight at 7 o'clock, we are back with Newcastle United Transfer Show, talking about some more players that are being linked to the club. And we'll also have a look back at today's game and certainly a lot of positives from it. So join us at 7 p.m. tonight. Don't forget. And we'll look forward to seeing you there. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in today. Don't forget to hit that like button, guys. And, of course, if you're new to the channel, please hit the subscribe button. It is free to do so. And, of course, the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. So thank you very, very much. And don't forget, 7 p.m. tonight. The show's not advertised yet, but it will be around tea time tonight. As Newcastle look to kill this game off now with St. Maximin trying to go through 5 players there. But just couldn't get round them. The 90 minutes are up. I'm not sure there'll be a lot of injury time with it being a friendly, but here come Vallecano down the left-hand side. Falcao in a lot of space in the middle. Lascelles, though, got back and covered well, and the ball is bouncing around. It's back now with Nick Pope, and that should be it. That really should be it. Botman now, as Newcastle played out. I'm not sure if he's indicated any injury time, but there you are. It's all the way back to the Vallecano keeper now. And now they come down the right-hand side. Good work that by Newcastle to win the ball back. And now Maxi in acres of space. He's got Dylan Stevenson up with him. Maxi will only have one eye on here, and that's for goal. Spins round one, and he's held up, and he's gone down again. He's waving his arm in the air again. Get up, Maxi, man! Honestly, it's so annoying when he does that. There's nothing the matter with him. And he's down like he's been shot, for God's sake. He's waving his arms. He's banging the floor. There's nothing wrong with him. I'm telling you now. It was a good tackle. Just get on with it. He tried to do too much because Dylan Stevenson was there. Just play him in, but he didn't. And, well, now he's down. Unbelievable. The game's finished anyway. Paul says there was nothing in that tackle. This is what I'm talking about. I know, it's frustrating. It really is frustrating. Look, he held onto the ball far too long, to be honest. Far too long. Stevenson was screaming for the ball. There was five Vallecano players around Maxi, and he just... Honestly, and we've seen the brilliance of Maxi today, and we've seen the real annoyance of Maxi when he goes down like he does, and it's really annoying. But there you go. It is what it is. He's back on his feet now. Lejeune patting him on the back. And there he goes, hobbling away to the sideline. There's fuck all wrong with him, man. I'm telling you now. This is the one thing that really frustrates me about Maximin. I mean, he's got to go off, but I think the referee is pretty much going to blow the full-time whistle here. As Maxi literally taking his time getting to the sidelines and then stops near this. Just get off, will you, man? Honest to God. And here we go. We play on. Florian Lejeune has the ball. Oh, Maxi suddenly is able to run on the pitch now. Unbelievable, that, isn't it? Fuck's sake. Anyway, here come Vallecano down the left-hand side, and he just couldn't take it. The ball did drift over Murphy's head, but I mean, I really don't know how much at the time he's playing here. So I presume he's going to blow the whistle very shortly. A lot of empty seats in the ground now. I do know that. Everybody making the great escape. Murphy's throwing way down in Newcastle's own half. And again, taking an age to get rid of it, but now we do throw it. And the referee blows his whistle. Newcastle United have won by 2-1 in a very, very good performance. A very, very good workout for Newcastle today, it has to be said. It was some niggly little tackles going in. But overall, I think Newcastle United should be absolutely delighted with the performance today. I certainly am. They played really, really well. And I look forward to seeing what the future holds for Newcastle now in the next coming games. It's great stuff. It's fantastic to watch. The passing, is there. Certainly second half, much better than the first half even. And I didn't think we did too badly in the first half, to be honest. But I really, really enjoyed that. A great game of football. It's great to see the lads giving Florian Lejeune big hugs and chatting to him because he was popular at Newcastle United. He was a popular guy. It just didn't work out for him. But we wish Florian Lejeune the very, very best moving forward in his career. So good luck to him. But a very, very good performance from Newcastle. Really enjoyed that and really looking forward to what the future holds. But thank you very much for watching the Watch Along today, guys. Don't forget, we'll be back at 7 p.m. tonight for a Newcastle United transfer show, and we'll also look back on today's game. So please join us for that. Don't forget to hit that like button before you exit the show. And if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, become part of the Toon Review community, and also the notification bell, which will let you know when we go live or we upload. Thank you very much to the mods that have been in this afternoon. Fantastic work again, as usual. But thank you to you guys out there who've spent the afternoon with me listening to the game. And we hope you've enjoyed it. But that is it. Newcastle United win 2-1 in their final friendly before things get serious again on Tuesday in the Carabao Cup at home to Bournemouth. It's very exciting. It is very, very exciting. But until tonight, guys, we'll see you again at 7 o'clock. Good afternoon.